congratulations. Subscribe. Sports Jazz. Josh, your man, you've been defending all this while, comes out with a bombshell that he's ready for a new challenge. He wants to leave Man United. And he's, in his own words, he said, for me personally, I'm ready for a new challenge. The next steps when I leave, it's going to be no hard feelings. You're not going to have any negative comments from me about Manchester United. That's me as a person. If I know that a situation is already bad, I'm not going to make it worse. I've seen how other players have already left in the past, and I don't want to be that person. When I leave, I'll make the statement and it will come from me. That is Marcus Rashford for you, Josh, saying and setting it point blank that he wants to leave. Your thoughts, Josh, because I know you're his man. You're his man. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's actually a surprise that Marcus Rashford, when he was interviewed by Henry Winter, came out and said what he said. I didn't expect Marcus Rashford to answer the question in the manner that he did, especially under the circumstances of what has been going on. Yes, he's a Manchester United boy through and through. So the omission from the squad in the derby could have hurt him a lot. But for me, the statement that Marcus Rashford put out when he was asked whether he's going to stay or leave, it speaks volumes to me. Maybe he knows something much more than what we know.
Probably.
It sounds like he knows that there's already a bad situation at the club with the way he has been behaving, and it must change. So he has chosen to come out and put it out there, because you should know that Marcus Rashford was doing this interview with Henry Winter. Henry Winter was talking about Marcus Rashford having visited a school, you know. Then he asked the question of, are you staying or you leaving? Then for the personality that Marcus Rashford, for the person that Marcus Rashford is, I never expected him to come up with that answer, because he's a guy who is very clever in the things that he says. He would not have said something like that. I remember when Paul Pogba flirted with leaving Manchester United. After saying it, you knew that he
His
was always
brothers too.
going to leave. Yes, and
Yeah,
Paul
correct.
Pogba at least was a guy. His personality, you would say that he could be flirting and he could be maybe cracking a joke. But Marcus Rashford is um, he's very certain on the things that he's saying. And when he says that when I leave Manchester United, as opposed to if I leave, I
It's
mean,
like he's already made a decision, Josh. He
yeah,
has
he's
already made
already
a
made a
decision
decision, and
because you
Ruben
see, I
Amorim
quote,
and Ineos must have told him something, and he knows that the end is near.
but Josh, even if you were told something, I don't think it's right. Okay, I don't think it's right to come all out and say words like "I leave." When I leave, it's going to be no hard feelings. You're not going to get any negative comments from me. In other words, he's been thinking about this all time, and because he goes on to say, if I know the situation is worse, or rather is already bad, I'm not going to make it worse. Of course, he's been watching what people have been saying about him, the fans, the journalists, and I think he's just had enough. 87 goals in the Premier League. Um, you also 27 years old. I think he has already done whatever he has done to him, because he said he has no regrets. He's achieved enough. He's performed for the club. Came through the youth wing. Uh, Introduced onto the scene, and he's done whatever he has done. Josh, 69 assists for the club in total, and 138 goals all in general, rather all competitions for Man United. I think he's ready to bounce, Josh.
Yeah, but
And
much as it
actually,
is
I don't
not,
say I think, but I think he's had enough, and he just wants to let go.
yeah, much as it is not good, the manner in which he said the things that he said during a season. If he's a guy who knows something that Ineos, the manager, and everyone involved around Carrington has told him, it's his right. It's within his right to say the things that he wants to say. So if he has decided to leave the club, so be it. He let him leave the club. I think it is very good that he has not had a session with Piers Morgan to actually come out and lambast on how Manchester United and Ruben Amorim are not doing him a favor. But if the culture at Manchester United should change and bring players in a mentality that is very competitive to achieve things for Manchester United. And Marcus Rashford was a stumbling block to the progress of Ruben Amorim. I have no regrets. I have no regrets on him leaving. Besides, Marcus Rashford has given us a very good moments. He has showed up in very big games for Manchester United during his tenure. I mean, we have been in a very difficult period while he was at the club, and in sometimes in those seasons he has looked like the sparkle in a very disorganized Manchester United setup. He has put his life on the line for the club in periods where you would think that he would have gone for surgery on that shoulder, but he played through the season with an injury. I mean, for the good of the club. So I don't have a bad blood with Marcus Rashford, but I think Marcus Rashford has done Manchester United a favor, and it is from within his heart. He does this with a very warm heart towards Manchester United, because it is what is good for Manchester United, him leaving
It
the
is
club at
indeed.
this point, because we need to turn a new chapter. Marcus Rashford needs to revive his career. He needs to turn a new chapter. He would actually do very well in a very different environment. I mean, this is a guy who was born and bred in Manchester. He's grown up there. He's lived there, played there, done everything at Manchester United, and he does not see any progress. He does not see what he can give more to the club. So
Well,
it is not bad for him to have said the things that he said. At least he didn't sit down with Piers Morgan.
yeah, it's not bad at all. 18th July 2020, 2023, under Eric Ten Hag, he renewed or signed a new deal to stay at Manchester United until 2028. Deal worth 325,000 Josh a week. That is Marcus Rashford
What?
back then. But yeah, worth 325,000 a week. So I think that's a lot of money that is going to be saved. And I hope, to me personally, he leaves in January. As he says, he's ready for the new he's ready
Impossible.
for a new challenge. And let him go have it. Let him go. He can, because in one of the statements he said he's played all his life in the Premier League. It's like he's trying to say, he's calling out other suitors from La Liga, from Italy or Serie A, from who knows, even League One. But I think his destination might be the Bundesliga, calling them to come and pick him up, or
He's a
sign
very
him. And
good.
I think it's
He's a
great.
very good player. He's a very good player, and I believe that if Marcus Rashford ends up in a settled environment, he will progress. He will show his true attributes. I mean, for me, the thing that I don't like about Marcus Rashford is his off the field antics, because every time you do hear that he has misbehaved or something like that, that is not good for a guy who is competitive. And the Premier League is very unforgiving. The Premier League is very unforgiving.
And
There
Josh,
is no way.
I don't
There is
think
no
it
way.
was the right time to come and just say those things right now.
No, it is. It is, because the club in you
Let him
look at
just
it
put in a
from.
transfer request,
No,
Josh.
no,
Let
no,
him
no,
just
no,
put
no.
in a
Look
transfer
at it.
request.
No, look at it from the perspective of Marcus Rashford. The club has not come out to deny any of the allegations that are flying around. So
Neither
if
have they come out to say they want him out, Josh. It's
exactly,
reporters.
no, but
It's news coming through. Unless he
the
knows something
allegations,
that we don't know.
li- Isaac, listen, the allegations do actually say that Manchester United is on alert to let Marcus Rashford go. I mean, so if the club has not come out to clarify that situation, and he's asked by a
The same
journalist, I mean, he
the
can
same
give
thing was
his
said
honest
of
opinion.
Garnacho.
he can give his no he can give his honest opinion
Yeah,
in that no one is talking about Garnacho leaving United. All the
they
media
did,
outlets are
Josh.
talking about Rashford leaving United.
They did. Well, in still in
But
that
it
interview, he
is a
said
good thing for him. I know he's a very good player. He can even flourish at another club in the Premier League, a top club, because he has that talent. It's just that he needs to maybe if he goes in a new environment, he will adapt to the good culture and the good vibes of that environment, and he will give his best. He will give his
to
best
borrow your
in that
words.
environment.